You don't even deserve to be on this page. Have you ever seen an X on a treasure map? What if I told you you're sitting on it and you don't even realize it yet? What if I told you you've just stumbled on a gold mine beyond anything you could have ever dreamed of? You have no clue as to the power of what you are about to be offered. But whether you know it or not, you are just 10 clicks away from the only software tool that taps into a completely new, completely unexposed cash juggernaut that's about 100 times bigger than ClickBank. Yeah, I said 100 times bigger than ClickBank, and about 200 times bigger than every single internet marketing product launch put together. We're talking about a new money-making universe where even the rankest newbie can rake in $500, $600, and even $1,000 per day starting now, without breaking a sweat and without spending any serious time in front of a computer screen. You're about to be handed your own exclusive VIP pass to tap those kind of profits within minutes. You ain't in Kansas anymore, Dorothy, and that's why this may not be for you. I'm betting 90% of you will run from this message like scared little girls. My suggestion? Go back to your old life, another uneventful day being you, and wait for the next big product launch, because if every strategy you know of for making money online must involve the words ClickBank and Google, this ain't for you. This is not for you if you're convinced it's impossible to make more while working less or not at all. This is not for you if you are uneasy about sneaking up on other 8-figure super affiliates and shamelessly pumping a hefty slice of their cash profits effortlessly into your own bank account. If that sounds like something you're not ready for, you might want to head back over to Facebook, YouTube, or some other site that keeps you distracted from your failure. Believe it or not, I could care less what you do next. I've got the money and the students I need. This is not for you, and it'll never be for you. But if you can see yourself exploiting technology to work less or barely at all, while laughing all the way to the bank, while everyone else in our industry remains a slave to the clock and a slave to their workload, and you want to do it easily, without any Google, without any Yahoo or Bing, without any ClickBank, without writing a single piece of content, without learning a single HTML code, without a product, without building a list, without a domain name, without any connections, without a single marketable skill to your name, without any media buys, without kissing butt to any pompous CPA network. If that's you, I want you to sit back, shut up, and listen up, because you do need to hear this. Here's the ironic thing. Go back 3 years, I was just like you. Hell, I was you. Feeling overwhelmed, looking at a ClickBank account that's got tumbleweeds running through it. Feeling like I needed a win so bad, it's like nothing else in the world matters. If that's you, get ready for everything to change on a dime, because you're about to realize that all the easy money online has been sitting right under your nose, but just hidden from your view. Prepare to go behind the scenes to the most coveted underground and overpaid world of pompous super affiliates banking up to $40 million per month online. Then picture how much money you could be banking if you knew exactly who these super affiliates are, where they are, and what if you had the only underground, completely automated 6-click software technology that allows you to tap into their profits at will, funneling life-changing cash into your bank account of choice with no effort on your part. Imagine this software working through the night tonight, and waking up tomorrow to a fresh $200 in spendable cash even before your coffee finishes brewing in the morning. And imagine that $200 per day grows to $400 per day later on this month. And of course, if you want to crank it up to millions like I do, it's just a matter of how many more times you want to run the software. And guess what's more fun than making tons and tons of money while doing none of the work? Oh yeah, nothing. Look, I am ready to show you the path to pure esoteric money-making bliss. If we're going to go down this path together, I'm first going to have to ask you to stop. Stop. Listen to me. Stop trying so hard to make money online. Yeah, that's right. Stop. You hear me? You are doing everything wrong. Period. Stop building websites. Stop getting JV partners. Stop building your list. Stop building your brand. Stop getting connections. Stop attending pathetic conferences. Stop learning new methods every week. Stop doing SEO. Stop buying the newest guru offering of the week like a battered wife with a bad case of Stockholm Syndrome. Stop breaking the #1 rule, handing over dollars to pick up dimes. Because it hasn't worked. It isn't working, and there's a safe bet that it'll never work. Not because you're incapable, but because the whole system is obsolete. It's time. It's time to open yourself up to a new money-making universe, where making job-crushing and even life-altering money doesn't come to those who work the hardest, but to those few insiders who simply know where the treasures are buried. I'm Steve Iser, a reformed video game junkie, and now a 24-year-old millionaire. Feels so damn cool to say that, I can't even tell you. Here's my earnings in just 1 week. And here's another taste. And it sucks for you. It sucks for you that the odds are stacked against you. With the boss who considers you expendable, a government that sees you as fresh meat, and most recently, a punching bag to some of the slimiest internet gurus around. And it sucks that for 95% of you who did not find this page, this little trump through the world of making money online will saddle you with massive black holes of debt you may never crawl your sorry way out of. And it's a sad statement, but here's the God's honest truth. I, Steve Eiser, I'm all you've got. That's right, I'm all you've got going for you. Whether you're retired, unemployed, or a 16-year-old Bieber-loving teeny bopper, I'm it. Why? Because I understand one thing. I understand that you could lap up every guilty pleasure that comes across your path. Lord knows I have, but the only thing that'll really matter in the end is how many people's lives you actually change for the better. I don't just believe that, I live it. At my young age, I've learned that the only thing that matters to me in my life right now is to bite down hard into the billions of dollars of profits online being unclaimed right now. For myself and for my many now wealthy students. And doing it all legitimately and legally, but effortlessly, of course. The rest of the world can be damned as far as I'm concerned, but not my students. The rush I get from helping a raw rookie make his first $100 per day means more to me now than making my next million. Now, I don't know you, but I know that you deserve to experience that. You deserve to know what it feels like to always have at least 5 figures padding your bank balance instead of it always hovering around 0. And maybe that's why I'm the only guy who seems to care enough about your success to actually hold your hand until you're securely on the other side of the money mountain. Just ask my student Jamie Mosley, who's making up to $500 per day in her first 30 days online using the system you're about to access. And Sean Tillman, who's now traveling around the world without a laptop and making up to $30,000 per month in his first year seriously marketing online. So you've got to ask yourself, why are they making money like that? And you're still chasing the latest guru flavor of the week. Maybe it's because they decide to learn from me, a guy who actually deals directly with the customers until they succeed. A guy who is actually teaching the strategies he's using right now to fund his own bank account. In fact, I will promise you that I am the only product creator online who successfully tests out his systems with 60 beta testers from every walk of life in every major industry before I even think of releasing it to the public. Well, that's the, quote, guru you're listening to now. And there's your first clue as to why my students are pulling down $500 per day out of the gate, sometimes within their first few days with one of my products, while you're still floundering around like last week's fried fish fillet. Still waiting for your breakthrough moment. And for a lot of people out there who didn't find their way to this page, that breakthrough moment will never come. But you're about to hear a story of a breakthrough moment that not only changed my life forever, but is about to turn yours upside down too. You know, they say there's no shortage of talented losers out there. And 3 years ago, that's exactly what I was. Too busy nursing a bad gaming addiction and a passion for hacking for my talents to ever see the light of day. A third late notice of rent was posted on my door, and I was sick of never having enough money. I turned to the internet for the answer, but was getting nowhere. Tireless hours spent marketing with eBay, ClickBank, Amazon, and even Twitter failed to pay even a single bill. The hacker in me started to pipe up in my head. If I was going to get anywhere in this business, it was going to be through the back door. Many of you may not realize this, but all of the best forums on the internet are hidden from view. They operate on black servers, buried by an endless web of massive firewall hacks. I'm talking off the grid, virtually invisible to everyone, even the feds. Well, everyone but me, that is. My gift for hacking allowed me to practically walk right in, every day. So that's what I did. I spend my nights scanning for insider information. But not just any insider information. Information I could use to actually pay off some debts and get that anal landlord off my back. So I kept looking for trends, anything I could exploit to make real money online. But one secret forum caught my interest in a way I just couldn't let go. A tiny forum that used to talk about the internet like it was their own personal playground. I can still remember them spouting off about the numbers they used to pull down. Numbers that I thought were reserved for pompous Texas oil tycoons. A group that called themselves the Nines. Weird, because there are only 4 of them. Apparently they got that name because they go crazy until they've made their 9th million that month. We're talking about true money-making all-stars that make people look like a hapless hobo. The self-made elite. I hear these guys talking about the multiple millions they rake in each month, and my curiosity about how they were doing it just wouldn't let go. So with no cash to my name, I started tracking their every movement, waiting for the day I could meet up with them and pick their bulging marketing brains. I literally would bribe the security at their VIP conferences. You'd catch me sneaking into their seminars. Any old dirty money-making nugget I could get my hands on made the trip worth it. Then there was the seminar of April of 2007 in New York City. I walked in hours before the meeting was supposed to go down, in the very hotel the Nines were supposed to be staying at. I catch out of the corner of my eye 4 guys that didn't seem to belong. They looked like total bumps, straight out of the Venice Beach boardwalk. They're sitting in the lounge laughing it up. And get this, they're surrounded by models, hovering around them like stewardesses in first class. I can still remember thinking to myself, these weren't men, these were gods. I look a little closer and bingo, my suspicions were confirmed. It was the Nines, every last one of them, all at one table, just hanging out. No gatekeepers, and they were within arm's length, closer than I'd ever gotten before. And to make matters even sweeter, they were more than a few beers in. This was my big chance. I gathered myself, greeted them with firm handshakes all around, and sat down. I hit them with my passion, poured my heart out. I had nothing to lose. I told them about everything. My strategy, my research, my plans, the countless hours I was spending trying to model their moves. I literally begged for answers. I explained how I seemed to be following their steps, but for some reason, they kept making millions each month, and I still couldn't pay the rent. What was I missing? They stood still for a moment with a look of pity that I'll never forget. That's when one of them piped up. It was Artie, the sloppiest looking one of the bunch. But by the look of it, he seemed to be in charge. They all quieted down as he laid down the golden nugget that would ultimately lead to millions in my bank account. And maybe yours too. You're on the right track, kid, he said. But your downfall is that you're working way too hard. He continued. You know the difference between an amateur fisherman and a professional? I was too paralyzed to come up with the answer. So he kept going. An amateur throws out his line and waits for the fish to come to him. A professional goes where the fish already are in droves, and then just sticks out his net. And he doesn't just feed himself with that catch, he feeds a small city. He proceeded to tell me the formula for finding billions of dollars worth of profitable opportunities all over the web. Why'd he do that? What did he owe me? I later realized he wasn't being nice. He never in his wildest wet dream thought I'd be able to use that formula. It was too complex and required hours of research just to find even one possibly profitable opportunity. To make the kind of money they made required a research team of hundreds of employees working overseas. But I knew 2 things Artie didn't. 1, every word he spoke to me was recorded by an MP3 player I had running in my pocket. 2, with my Olympic level programming skills and hacking tools, I had everything I needed to automate that entire process he outlined. This meant that in one single night, I could accomplish every detail of their entire research process from the start until the endless windfall profits had marched securely into my neglected bank account. I was holding a winning lotto ticket, and now was the time to cash it. I rang up an old hacker friend and told him his skills were finally about to do some good for the world. I told him we were about to create a perpetual money-making machine, the likes of which not even Michael Bay could have ever dreamed of. He was game, and we got to work with 5 laptops running all at the same time, creating a software that would automatically fill our pockets with more cash than most people dream of making in a lifetime. The goal was to have it work in 2 simple steps. 1, money-making intelligence. This was the part that would scan billions of pages and test every last one, finding only pages and traffic sources that are already making money, using the same profitability algorithm Artie and the Nines had been using to create risk-free windfall profits to the tune up to $40 million a month. Anything that could potentially lose money would be immediately rejected by the software. And 2, the money suction funnel. To develop a 6-click strategy, yeah, I said just 6 clicks, to legally and with no risk funnel those profitable flows of traffic and all the money that came along with it directly into our bank accounts. For the next 3 nights, we saw every sunrise as we perfected the system. By 11:42 on a Sunday night, the beast was complete. A money-making machine that could even make the Federal Reserve printing press jealous. It required no technical knowledge, no maintenance, just a stealth system for suctioning profits from every last drop of the massive ocean of money known as the World Wide Web. In every niche, in every market, no exceptions and no limits. Part of me felt like this was way too good to be true, but another part of me was having fun imagining the boats, the sports cars, and models we might soon be enjoying. We worked so hard creating this bad boy, we thought our fingers would fall off. Naturally, we did nothing but sleep for the next 48 hours. We must have forgotten. The software was running as we slept, and the money funnel function was activated. So I peel away from my covers and stumble to the monitor, and what I saw there on the screen made my heart stop. I had to call my hacker buddy to the monitor just to make sure I wasn't dreaming. He walks over, and the next thing I know, he's having the same reaction. I hate to admit this, but we started to jump up and down in our PJs like high school cheerleaders trying to get on the varsity squad. Because what we both saw in my inbox were pages and pages upon pages of nothing but notification of payment received. I never thought I could go to sleep and wake up in a new tax bracket. But that's exactly what happened. When the profits for the month were calculated, these were the total commissions I had coming to me. Now remember, I had no customer service to deal with, no product, no list, and to think all this money was being made while I was indulging in dreams of Victoria's Secret angels. On that day, we dubbed the software tool we had created the only name that seemed appropriate. We called it Commission Crusher. And the beauty is, it's mathematically impossible to run out of profitable opportunities with this software so long as it's in your possession, because these hidden profit geysers keep popping up every day like a whack-a-mole. The Commission Crusher system keeps exploiting new profitable campaigns faster than you could ever cash in on them. And it does it all while you tan on the beach with a mini umbrella in your margarita. And if you think this is just another tired guru scheme that's already being exploited to no end, think again. You can never exhaust the depths of this wealth. Because as you may already know, the pages on the internet are growing at a breakneck pace of 1 billion pages per day. That's 12,000 pages per second, with an additional 11 million users per month. Fast forward to today, at this point, my bank account is plump. I've reached every goal I've set. In fact, I've obliterated them. It happened. I'm done. I did it. It felt great, but not as good as I had hoped. Maybe it was a bit too easy. I go back to my golden rule we mentioned earlier. You can lap up every guilty pleasure that comes across your path, but the only thing that'll really matter in the end is how many people you actually helped out. Could you imagine being given access to King Tut's treasure? You've got all the money you need, but you're all alone? Feels kinda empty in my book. There comes a point when you're maxed out. You want to share the experience, because there's more than enough to go around. I decided it was time for others to experience the same rush I did. It was time to let people just like you get behind the wheel of Commission Crusher and watch their bank accounts blow up like plutonium, just like mine. So I took on just a few of my hungriest and most inexperienced students, just to prove that anybody and their grandmother can make this work. We started with Joanne Everett from St. Paul, Minnesota. She flicked the switch on the software. For some reason I still can't understand. She wanted to make money with ClickBank offers. So we set it up for ClickBank, and here's what her ClickBank account looked like the following week. Then I gave it to Sammy Fleming, and he started making money the first day. He now fancies himself a world traveler, able to live out his dreams without a laptop, while the Commission Crusher picks up the tab every single time. These commissions speak for themselves. Here are his monthly earnings as he trumped around Amsterdam this entire month. And now the only question is, who's next? Are you? Because after seeing countless lives transformed by this software, now it's time to pass the torch to a new generation of money-hungry rookies who qualify. Will you be one of them? Only you can decide that. Either way, it's vital that you understand what's happening here today. I'm releasing a software system that allows any newbie, even if you've got nothing but $50 to his name, and gives them push-buttoned access to traffic to the tune of 600,000 uniques per week, and hundreds per day overwhelming your bank account. And yes, do it all overnight, with zero risk, zero experience, zero list members, zero products. And the truth is, we haven't even begun to explore the full potential of this underground money-making machine. But the new batch of conquerors I'm about to scoop up right now will be well on their way. Just imagine in seconds, coming eyeball to eyeball, with billions of dollars worth of hidden but proven profitable, untapped traffic sources. With more popping up every day, in fact every second of every day, while everyone else is busy doing keyword research and building links. Imagine sneaking up on the profitable campaigns of money-making monsters doing tens of millions per month, and siphoning off an easy $200 to $500 per day without them even noticing what happened. And then imagine that in just 6 clicks of your mouse is all it takes to have flash floods of cash to spill headfirst into your bank account, waiting for you to spend on your latest indulgence before you can even log onto your computer in the morning, ending your cycle of debt, ending your years of heartache, fear, and dependence that may have made your life so miserable you don't even recognize yourself anymore. Let me take this moment to remind you that if you are lucky enough to be one of the only marketers online to access Commission Crusher before this video gets torn down like wrapping paper on Christmas morning, let me remind you, nothing like this technology exists. And even if it did, nobody in their right mind would share it with you, unless they were a rebellious young millionaire with an attitude. So if you're fast enough and lucky enough to get beyond this page onto the next one, I will simply say, welcome to the big leagues. Join a world where people are making up to $10 million per month net, and then use Commission Crusher to swoop in, undetected, and scoop up to $200 per day in your first week. Easy. Forgot I was a hacker? Well, don't. If you want up to $400 per day, it's just a matter of running the software a few more times, finding a few more of these hidden money springs, which are now no longer hidden. They're completely exposed and laid bare like cleavage in a wet t-shirt contest, and ripe for the picking. It's easier than you think. It's easier than anything you've ever seen. It's kind of like seeing the dealer's hand before he throws down the cards. It's almost unfair. No more guesswork, no more wondering if it'll work. No, it will work. Every single time. Guaranteed. You're probably wondering what I'm going to charge you for a software that brings you eye to eye with billions of dollars in profits, yours to plunder as big and as often as you please. And choosing a price is a funny thing, because I know you need this desperately. I know it in ways you couldn't possibly know yourself, because I see where the future of the economy in general, and the internet in particular, is headed. I'm thinking you can't bear another day of misery without it. And I'm thinking that if I asked you for your left kidney in exchange for this software, you'd probably do it. Luckily, I'm not charging by the body part. But seriously, I mean, how much would you pay to unlock the wealth of the internet instantly? Really? A cash funnel pulling hefty sums of cash from every nook and cranny of the web like it's your own personal ATM machine. Would it be worth taking out a second mortgage to pay for something like that? I would in a heartbeat. So, let's face it, any price I put on this sucker is an insult to you and me. It's an insult especially to the software. So how's this for an idea? I don't even try to value this thing anywhere near what it's worth, because the demand is far bigger than the supply anyway. So here's how we're going to do this. I charge you a small fraction of what this is worth, with one catch: 500 copies. That's all we sell. Then we shut down. If somebody drops out, we let a new guy or gal in. We'll play that pathetic little game of musical chairs for about a week, and then we'll seal the door shut for good. There's only so much room I can handle in my inner circle. That way I get my kicks watching 500 lives change overnight. So if you're watching this now, be advised. Odds are, you're looking at your only good shot at getting in. You're either in or you're out. Makes no difference to me. If you pass this up, I've got 50 people waiting behind you to nab your spot. So don't sweat it at my expense. So what's the price going to be? That's the question, isn't it? Well, let's be honest. Your entrance fee isn't going to move the needle for me one way or another. I've got far more money thanks to Commission Crusher than I'll ever need. I get off on creating new rags to riches stories. I'm looking forward to watching my new crew of proteges scientifically take over the internet. So we're going to price this so anybody, yeah, even you welfare folks, can foot this bill. Software that should be selling for thousands ain't going to be selling for thousands. It ain't selling for hundreds either. In fact, I'll let it go for just $97. And just $47 for the first 35 to snatch this up right now. So that's the story. It's yours for 47 bucks. Makes me mad even hearing that. So you might want to grab this one before I have second thoughts. The fact is, if you have to be convinced to shell out 47 bones to access a software that brings you the entire wealth of the internet to your fingertips, well, if you need to be convinced about that, then you never belonged here in the first place. And I'm sorry we both wasted our time. Don't like losing $47? So don't. How's this for a lopsided deal? You make small fortunes with Commission Crusher now, then decide to pay me later, if you're in the mood, of course. That's kind of like going into a 5-star restaurant. The waiter brings out the wine, the caviar, the steak, and the side of ribs. A few days later, you get a call from the restaurant. Hello, sir. Your meal last Tuesday came out to $1,848.58. Care to pay for that? You say, No thanks. They say, thank you, sir. Have a nice day. Click. That doesn't happen to you. It doesn't happen to anyone, ever. But it happens here. It happens today. Go to town, biting as hard as you possibly can into the $1.8 billion profit pool you'll have at your fingertips for a full 2 months. And if you don't like this software, don't like the look, don't like the size of the file, you don't like my Canadian accent when I say about in the how-to videos, keep every penny. In short, don't even say yes, just say maybe. Check this out now, get in there, and start making some real money. And we'll figure out if you want to pay more for it later, okay? Good. As this comes to a close, let's just stop and gain some perspective on the sort of U-turn your now pathetic life is about to take. I want you to take a moment to visualize what your new life post-commission crusher can be. Just close your eyes and imagine seeing your ATM balance reading a rock-solid 6 figures. I want you to seriously stop and think how that would feel. Sure, you've got more money tied up in investments, but you like to keep 6 figures in checking, like I do, just in case. Just so that whatever comes up, you can say yes to it. So when you're picking up wine and they offer you the finest bottle in the store, you say yes. When your wife wants to go to vacation in Maui, you say yes. When your wife wants that necklace from Tiffany's, you say yes to that too, and reap the benefits. Imagine a life without budgeting. Do you know how good it really feels to be able to talk about something other than money? Do you even remember who you were before money headaches stole your soul? This is your chance to find out. And do it without work or struggle. Because your system is making you money whether you sleep or are awake. Now is decision time. Don't forget that you've got options. Behind door number 1, you can keep up what you've been doing. Praying to the Google gods to finally show your spammy ClickBank affiliate site some love. Good luck. And you can keep frolicking through the endless maze of BizOps. From hyena-like gurus who would love to punk you out of more of your lunch money. This is what they do best. Or you can go with door number 2. My door. A chance to step into something real, something proven to make millions. Not just for me, but for my countless number of students who are in the exact same boat you're in now. And a chance to do it with someone who will actually take you on his shoulders when necessary to take you across the goal line, to make sure you can achieve every last greedy goal you can possibly dream. You can keep imagining that, or you can go and get it. Not next week, but right now. The download button is below. If you want access to a whole new world of automated profits before it closes, you must click that button now for instant access. Me and your new world of endless profits are waiting for you on the other side. And if you pass on this one, well, just rack that up to another long list of failures. And I know it won't be the last one either. But for the rest of you, I'll catch you on the flip side.